Thank you for your very warm introduction. Chairman Kim Do-yeon and President Kim Sung-hwan of the Taeje Future Consensus Institute, Chancellor Yeom Jae-ho and Dr. Kim Yong-hak of Taeje University, Madam Dr. Irina Volkova, former Director of UNESCO. Thank you for your participation. It's a great pleasure to welcome you after several years. Madam Park Yu-hyun of the DQ Institute, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to present this forum on sustainability and artificial intelligence, probably two of the most discussed topics these days. My deep gratitude goes to the four institutions hosting this timely event: the Taeje Future Consensus Institute, along with the Taeje University, the DQ Institute, and Joseon Ilbo. Before I say something, I must confess to you that I should be one of the last person who should talk about this artificial intelligence. I am far behind all this trend, even computer and whatever. But you should know that when I assumed my job as a Secretary General, my predecessor, Secretary General Kofi Annan, when anything about the computer or email, and people were surprised that when I was responding to all questions and answers in email, so that much I was a little bit ahead of, but far behind you. Then why I am speaking about this AI, I raised the issue, this must be very serious challenge for humanity. And I raised the issue to the members of the elders. There is an organization, a small group of just 11 people of former presidents or Nobel Peace Laureate. I'm working as vice chairman of this, the elders group. They came to Korea last May. We had a meeting, and we had also an audience of President Yoon Suk-yeol. But we discussed, I raised it that we must talk about intelligence, artificial intelligence, otherwise it may be a blessing or it may be a catastrophic for humanity. Then among us, with some help of some experts, we made the recommendation to my successor, Secretary General Antonio Guterres, immediately. And we sent our common recommendation that the United Nations should take these very challenging issues at the level of the United Nations before anything happens. And Secretary General answered that this will be one of his top agendas, and the United Nations will deal with this matter at the General Assembly and other informed agencies. This is what I'd like to tell you and confess that I'm not an expert, but I know that this has some very serious implications. That's why I accepted this invitation. Now I just try to say something. Now, ladies and gentlemen, together we gather here to address one crucial question. Are we on track to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, by the year 2030? As we now stand exactly halfway through our journey, it is time to reflect on where we have been and recalibrate our future Sustainable Development Goals, not just through 2030, but beyond as well. The SDGs were born as a universal call to action, urging us to eradicate poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for all. Just in an easy way, I have been speaking out 100,000 times to the people of the world that by 2030, there should be nobody who should die from abject poverty, hunger. There should be nobody who suffer without the food because of the lack of food. There should be nobody who should die unnecessarily from preventable diseases. There are some unpreventable diseases still, but I'm talking about preventable diseases. Then now, Madam Irina Bokova's priority is education. There should be no children who should not be able to graduate at least secondary school, and there should be no difference between men and women, etc., etc. So this is by far the most ambitious, most far-reaching vision the United Nations has ever presented to the people of the world. Now, this is not the subject here, but this has serious connection on climate change as well as SDGs. If we use AI, I think we may be able to make it faster. Now, to make matters worse, however, each new piece of technology we develop to improve our lives tends to come with additional challenges we need to overcome. And this further complicates our efforts to achieve our sustainability goal in a timely manner. This rings especially true the recent arrival of artificial intelligence-based technologies. What is the meaning of sustainability in our digital age? Let me answer this question by addressing three urgent challenges that currently demand our immediate attention. First, AI technology has the power to transform human experience, yet we do not fully understand exactly how and to what extent it will affect us. There is no denying that it could help improve how we live, work, and conduct politics in the most profound fashion in the years to come. And we should try to maximize all the benefits it could provide, including ways to accelerate our progress towards a more sustainable future. What concerns me, however, is the potential adverse effects. Putting AI in charge of critical decision-making in place of humans could be particularly dangerous, given the chances of misjudgment and accidents due to incomplete information, system failure, or sabotage. This could lead to fatal consequences, especially in areas such as national security. The latest advancement in AI, including ChatGPT, have prompted numerous national leaders, policy practitioners, and academics familiar with the technology to publicly voice their concerns about the associated risks. For instance, industry experts, including the heads of OpenAI and Google DeepMind, issued a statement not long ago where they warned that AI poses as great a risk as pandemics and nuclear war because it could be not only weaponized but also manipulated to destabilize and oppress society. The elders, as I told you, a small advisory group of global leaders I'm part of, have long been concerned about this. It is our shared belief that AI is a double-edged sword. For all the good it can do, it can also do serious harm to nuclear safety, democracy, and human rights unless properly controlled. I just talked to my colleague elders. This may touch the divine area. Then if Almighty God, if there is a God in the heaven is angry, then what will happen? It will be whole destruction of this planet Earth. This is just a joke, not based on science, but just my personal feeling. So that is what I have raised. As a possible solution, the elders have proposed, as I said, establishing an international institution that monitors and controls the development and deployment of AI and other dual-use technologies, akin to what the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT, or International Atomic Energy Agencies, IAEA, are doing in the nuclear arena. The second challenge is that we have been slow to respond to the climate crisis, and that is ravaging the planet right now. For many years, research has shown that regardless of the goals set out in the Paris Climate Change Agreement, we are not doing enough. We are far behind our schedule to stem the worsening tide. The dire consequences of such a lack of urgency and accountability are manifest in the extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and alarming loss of biodiversity we are presently experiencing worldwide. For example, the daily global average temperature on July 3rd this year reached 17.1 degrees Celsius, making it the hottest day on Earth in about 125,000 years. I don't know whether they have a temperature gauge at the time, but in any way, this is what scientists are telling us. So we have no other way to believe it. This marks the first time ever since we crossed the 1.5 degree Celsius threshold since the pre-industrial age. Scientists have long regarded it as a point of no return and urged us all to take immediate action before it was too late. Now global warming appears to be accelerating, bringing irreversible and unimaginable climate and other crises around the globe. Not only that, a recent study shows that humans are extracting so much groundwater that the tilt of the Earth axis is shifting by about 2 inches every year. Across the planet, sea levels are rising. I have seen for myself. I have visited all small South Pacific islands in Caribbean. The sea levels are rising. For example, a country like Kiribati has purchased the land in Fiji so that whole people should move to Fiji because the highest point of Kiribati Island is 3 meters high above sea level. And I took protocol purpose a photograph. Whenever VIP comes, they are led to the highest point on the sea level in their island, 3 meters Hala Mountain is 1,950, and the Baekdu Mountain is 744, something like this. So you can just imagine that many islands are disappearing. I was told by all the people that the island they have seen far away would suddenly disappear someday like this way. So this is a very dangerous time we are living in. Now, third, the final challenge is that our current SDGs lack the necessary instrument as well as the overarching framework to address two sets of issues arising in the digital age, particularly AI. When the SDGs were first formulated, the primary focus was on building a sustainable future for our planet and ourselves. However, in just a decade, technological advancements have come in leaps and bounds, fundamentally redefining the very relationship between us and the physical environment we inhabit. Now we live in not only the physical world, but also the digital world. AI, the metaverse, and other emerging technologies are turning the digital world into a very realistic extension of the physical world and more. Yet the existing SDGs mainly concern our physical environment and are poorly equipped to deal with the emerging digital space. Many issues such as cyberbullying, online sexual misconduct, data breaches, and fake news are plaguing the digital realm and putting the long-term safety of our children, businesses, and society at risk. The political, financial, and society and psychological harm they inflict exacerbates broader social issues such as unemployment, inequality, and breakdown of democracy, threatening the sustainability of both the physical and digital world. Sustainability in the age of AI means developing the ability to respond to the above-mentioned challenges in the most effective and timely manner possible. That, in turn, means we need to update our understanding and build a new institutional framework on sustainability. To do so, I suggest we consider the following three courses of action. First, we need to clearly delineate the limits we should abide by in developing and deploying AI. This process will require lengthy national and global debates about what AI is capable of, what is the pros and cons, and how to minimize the harmful effects, whether anticipated or not. Second, we will need to think and make the most of the cutting-edge technologies at our disposal, including AI, to save the planet and ourselves. AI could be used to identify the shortcomings of the current measures and systems we have in place and set more ambitious goals and more effective strategies. It is time to start making fundamental changes across industries, economies, and societies to accelerate our progress toward net zero. Third, we need to figure out how to promote and connect sustainability across both the physical and digital worlds. We must recognize both worlds as essential parts of human experience. They can and will affect and be affected by each other. A new sustainability framework must embrace this deep interconnectedness. And we need to pay attention to how the two worlds can contribute to the long-term sustainability of each other as we start thinking about the next stage of sustainability goals. A good starting point for constructing a new paradigm would be to rethink how our economy works. That is, to introduce a new paradigm for the national and global economies that can further enhance their capacities for long-term sustainability. Ever since the Industrial Revolution 200 years ago, we relied on the linear economy that focused on profit maximization through the take, make, waste approach. This approach has reflected its limits, threatening the planet's ecological and climate system. To make our economic activities more sustainable, we have developed the circular economic model. Given the ever-worsening climate conditions, we must continue to make efforts to come up with a newer and better economic paradigm and practices. We may not have a consensus on what to call it yet, but one thing is very crystal clear. The new paradigm must be environment-friendly, circular, and sustainable. It must emphasize not just resource conservation and waste reduction, but significantly contribute to enhancing the sustainability of our planet as well. In the dawning age of the AI, we need a new economic framework that could harness the power of emerging digital technologies to enhance the productivity, profitability, and sustainability of our physical and digital worlds. The role of AI will be essential here. The new framework should provide both the developed and developing countries with the necessary tools to pursue sustainable growth while ensuring the digital well-being of their citizens. So, ladies and gentlemen, how exactly do we approach sustainability issues in the age of AI? The private sector plays a crucial role in achieving sustainability and needs to be held accountable from environmental, social, and governance, what is known as ESG perspectives. Digital components need to be incorporated into ESG as we try to update our sustainability goals with the global race for AI dominance raging on. We need to expand the traditional ESG framework to encompass various aspects of companies' digital activities such as digital inclusion, digital skills, digital safety and security, digital rights, and more. Companies must conduct business with transparency, accountability, and ethical standards. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated digitalization across many industries, exposing companies to unfamiliar risks. The business and private sectors need to align their digital strategies with sustainable practices, to align their digital strategies with sustainable practices and proactively address the potential harm and liabilities brought on by the use of digital technologies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to unleash the true power of technology, we must create, use, and control it ethically and responsibly. We must ensure technology serves humanity, not the way around. We must also ensure that humanity controls. It is the humanity, us, not the technology control us. So we should control technology and not the way around. Then and only then can we achieve long-term sustainability and digital well-being as well as profit. By embedding responsible digital use in corporate and national sustainability strategies, we can move one step closer to the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and lay the foundation for the post-2030 development agenda setting. What must follow is interstate cooperation on establishing an international institution charged with monitoring and controlling the use of AI. Just as with nuclear energy, controlling a piece of technology as potent as AI requires a cautious, constant, and collective endeavor from the international community. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here in person and online. Let me also offer my gratitude to our distinguished speakers who will exactly guide us through some very interesting topics today. And remember, each and every one of us has a role to play in creating a world where innovation and prosperity and sustainability go hand in hand. This is what I just wanted to deliver to you, some of my thoughts, even though I regard myself, I'm just ignorant person on this AI is concerned. But let us work together to make this world safe from AI, beneficiary from AI, and to make this world sustainable and peaceful. Thank you very much for your attention.